legs. This is day 16. I'm actually getting pretty good at this. Having to deal with this this crazy level of detail. By the way, this is the yellow guy, so this might not come out really good on a light surface. There we go. How about that? Yeah, it's coming out pretty good. This dude's gonna be our blondie. He's got blonde hair. Aww. Blondes always have more fun, right? He has more fun. He likes to celebrate good times. Anyway, he's got a... That's not very fun. He's got a defect there where he's got a pretty tragic crack in his butt. Poor guy. I'll probably have to green stuff that and paint it, but yeah, not too bad. This guy I think is going to be the easiest to paint, so I'm looking forward to actually doing him because his wings are in a not so unfortunate place, so his legs are mostly exposed, which is great, so I can get my brush in there without having to paint over everything. That's one thing. It's frustrating, to say the least. I don't have perfect brush control because I'm fairly new at this, so I tend to like paint all over the place when I'm trying to aim. Woo, got brushes flying everywhere. When I'm trying to aim in here and I'm like painting, I tend to like go all over the place, and like I'm trying to paint this edge here, and then I'll get too close and paint that thing. It's just I need more practice with it, and it's frustrating because with all the really super close surfaces, I tend to do that a lot. Segueing into this guy, who I actually managed to do. I'm going to try to do these dudes at the same time so we can actually accomplish something this challenge. Yeah, he was really horrible to paint on the legs because I had to go in quite a bit and clean up with the black, which isn't bad. Definitely could have been worse, and he looks pretty good now, I think. But yeah, like this, what? Why is this wing here? Horrible. If I get more Vargeis, I'm definitely not putting these wings on until after they're painted. It's something I've learned. But, yeah, like painting in there, like trying to angle the brush, like from this angle, and like trying to get in there, and, yeah, it's just not a good time. But it looks pretty good. For the first base coat, tomorrow we'll be doing their skin. So back to the Dawnstone, this color here, to get their skin primed for the red ink washes, the multitudes of red ink washes. And just for reference, let's show this guy again. He's my done guy. So we're gonna definitely be going for this effect again. Obviously, they're a unit, but they're gonna have different colored hair. So I'm actually thinking with the blondie, we might actually do like a aerial yellow highlight maybe on the hair. I don't know. If that's a terrible idea, let me know beforehand. That won't be for probably a couple days. That might not be actually until the weekend, possibly, because I'll probably just get the skin done, because I have these dudes that I built too and painted and primed. So these are my plague bearers, my 10 plague bearers, all built and primed in white. I actually have a pretty solid plan. These guys, these little nurgling things are hilarious, and in a sick, disgusting way, kind of adorable. Like this guy. Look at this dude. He's upside down. What are you doing, little man? Why are you upside down? There we go. This guy. He's hilarious. Showing off his little butt. Come on, focus. I know you can do it. Believe in yourself. Here. Yeah. Cute. I don't know why, but that's hilarious. He's like standing on his hands. Yeah. So I'll probably be doing, these guys are gonna go quick, mainly because I'm doing them to a really, not a low standard, but they're gonna be the product of malefic demon psyker spells from my Eandon force. Yes, I have chaos summoning Eldar. Don't judge me. You don't know my life. Yeah, it's gonna be fun, but because they are just the product of a spell and not necessarily their own army at this point, I'm not gonna be painting them. I'm not gonna be trying to do like that on them. They'll be like, probably airbrush a couple of green base coats on them and then wash them with like a, I don't know, corrosion-y type of color, like a brownish type of color to muddy them up a little bit, and then I'll probably just paint the wounds with a couple of red washes. I might actually try something like to this effect on their guts, like the wing. That might actually be kind of a cool effect on their little like spilling entrails. Yeah. And then other than that, the plan is to just like highlight all the little boils and stuff and call it good, and paint the horns. So shouldn't be too hard. Oh, and the weapons are gonna be just black with maybe a little highlight on them. So it shouldn't be too hard. But yeah, plague bears are built and base coat and primed, and these guys have their legs on. So they're ready. They're ready to have their skin painted tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to it. Back to the old big brush and trying to fiddle around with the tiny little chest areas where the wings. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So yeah, that's day 16. The question is, GW made a bunch of specialist games in the past. What would I like to see them do? Well, my first answer that immediately came to mind was Mordheim, because that's what got me into fantasy in the first place. I love Mordheim. Every time I have an opportunity to talk about Mordheim, as if you follow my channel, you probably know. I love Mordheim, so I would love to see them bring that back. However, I thought I want to make this answer interesting, and I was actually thinking about this for a while, and I think what it would be cool in a perfect world to show us that they actually care about their systems and want to make decent rules that are fun but balanced and fair. I think it'd be cool for them to make like a specialist game designed, and they could do it for 40k and fantasy. In fact, if they really wanted to be creative, they could probably do one that encompasses both, like almost like a War Machine Hordes type of matchup or a crossover. But I was thinking it would be fun to see a game that's like almost like a Unreal Tournament style, like the old school, for you old gamers out there. Familiar with the original Unreal Tournament game, where it was just kind of you go into this arena and you battle it out, and it's all free for all, and just you insta-gib each other for eternity. That would be really cool for them to like set up this, maybe this place in Island or something in the Warp, where all these different things from past and present converge, and all these different races are sent here to this like little floating island in the Warp, and then and it's almost like little mini skirmish games, but GW uses it for testing out like new rules or new models coming out. So before they're released officially to 40k, they could come out like and maybe even like do like a smaller scale, so people would have to buy the new models at a later date. So it's not like they're early releasing everything, but buying like a force of soldiers or something that were warriors that aren't out yet, but they're in like maybe a smaller scale and cheaper, and then you buy those guys just to test them out and
play these like experimental rules against each other and see how they turn out. And then with that supported specialist game, they would have like a feedback system where people could write in on a forum or like contribute to the game, saying, you know, like, this is our findings for the rules, almost like have it be like a beta test format for 40k and fantasy. So just like have a permanent open beta for new stuff that they release. I think that would be really cool if they did something like that. Of course, it'll never happen because it's just not how it works. But yeah, I think that would be a fun way to do a specialist game, to basically allow like experimental things into the game before they're released, and allow the community to give feedback on it, and you know, have the company change things and have them play tested in an open beta situation before releasing it. And I don't know, I think that'd be cool. But before I start rambling too much, I think I will cut it there. That's day 16. Keep up the videos, guys. Keep it coming. I'm loving watching all your guys' progress. It's keeping me up and doing it. So yeah, keep it up, guys. Day 16.